Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading an Arlecchino Listener by me, so let's get into it. The day had been grueling to say the least. Your body ached and your mind was clouded with exhaustion as you pushed the door open, stepping into the quiet warmth of your shared home with Arlecchino. The air smelled faintly of the spiced tea she liked to drink in the evenings, and the faint crackle of the fireplace greeted you like a comforting embrace. She glanced up from her place on the couch, where she had been quietly reading, when she saw you, taking in the tired slump of your shoulders, and the heavy sigh that you let out as you kicked off your boots. "Rough day?" she asked, setting her book aside and tilting her head slightly, her tone calm, but tinged with concern. He nodded, trudging over to her and collapsing onto the couch beside her. "You have no idea," he murmured, leaning your head back against the cushions and closing your eyes. "I feel like I haven't sat down all day." Arlecchino reached out, her hand resting gently on your arm. "You work too hard. You should take better care of yourself," she said quietly, her voice carrying a rare note of softness. And you turned your head to look at her, offering a tired smile. "I have you to do that, don't I?" Her lips quirked into a faint amused smirk, but her eyes betrayed her genuine concern. "Always," she replied, her fingers brushing against yours in a reassuring gesture. And you hesitated for a moment, suddenly feeling a little shy under her gaze. "Arlie, can I ask you something?" Her brow arched slightly, her curiosity piqued. "Of course you can," she said, shifting closer. "What is it?" You glanced away, your cheeks warming. "I was wondering if you would let me nap on your lap." For a moment, she didn't respond, and you worried you might have embarrassed yourself, which wasn't really something you wanted to do. Or worse, you may have overstepped. But then, surprisingly, her hand moved to your cheek, tilting your head back toward her. Her expression had softened into something almost tender. "You should have asked sooner. Come here," she said simply, her voice low and warm, and she shifted her position, patting her lap gently. Relief washed over you as you moved to rest your head on her lap, and the moment you settled, her hand found its way into your hair, her fingers threading through it, all with a too surprising gentleness. "Comfortable?" she asked, her tone teasing but affectionate. "Very," he murmured, already feeling the day's tension begin to melt away. "Your lap is perfect." She chuckled softly, but her other hand was resting lightly on your shoulder. "Only for you. You know, you're the only one who gets to be this close," she said, a hint of fondness in her voice. And you smiled at her possessiveness, finding it very endearing. "Well, lucky me." Her fingers continued their rhythmic motion, stroking your hair and brushing against your scalp in a way that made your eyelids grow heavy. The room was quiet, save for the crackling of the fire and the soft rustle of fabric, as Arlecchino adjusted her position to make you more comfortable. And as your breathing slowed, you heard her speak again, her voice quieter now, almost as if she didn't want to disturb you. You need to stop pushing yourself so hard. Mm-hmm. I'll try. You mumbled sleepily, and her hand stilled for a moment before resuming its soothing motions. Promise me, she said softly. But even then, you could tell the firmness of her tone, and it broke no argument. You opened one eye, looking up at her. I promise you, I'll take better care of myself. For you said softly, your voice filled with warmth. But she just huffed, even though her expression softened even further, a genuine smile gracing her lips. She shook her head. I don't want you to do this for me. Do it for yourself. You deserve to be taken care of, without me in the equation. You nodded, your eyes fluttering closed once more. All right, if you say so, I suppose I'm convinced. Thank you, Arlie. For what? She asked, a touch of curiosity in her voice. For being here. For caring so much. You murmured, already half asleep yourself. And although she did not respond immediately, you could feel her lean down slightly, her lips gently brushing against your temple in a soft, fleeting kiss. It was something nice, a reminder of just how much she loved you. Always, she whispered, her voice quiet, soft, and yet it all felt too much like a promise. And with her touch grounding you, he drifted off into the most peaceful sleep you'd had in weeks, knowing you were safe, loved, and deeply cherished. And that certainly you'd wake up to find Arlecchino by your side. And that was more than enough to make you sleep with a smile on your face.